Okay, so uh, when last we left our heroes, you had returned from the clockwork nirvana of Mechanus, and were leaving the tower of the Archmage Gerhard, um, finding some comfortable accommodations in the village, or the town rather, around his tower, of which he is lord over. You were able to take a long rest at last and recover um, yourselves from your expedition. Um, it is going to be about 7 days to reach this city of Nilfenburg once again, um, and where Saint Amelia, the Truthsayer, has promised that there will be a parade in your honor for everything you have done for the Empire. It is the morning after
We're too
you
cool
have.
to show up at that.
It is the morning after your long rest. What do you do?
I think I'm going to ask the Archmage before we go about the cockroaches.
All right. So you return to the Archmage's tower in the morning. Um, you walk past the gargoyles which stand on his gate, and you approach the door. Um, hitting the knocker, there is a delay of several minutes before the door opens automatically, and you enter. Um, Walking up to the magical transporter that Saint Amelia took you on before, you enter the tower proper and are met by the Archmage. And he says, I didn't expect to be seeing you again. What can I do for you?
I have some academic questions, and I know you're working on a potion. And I'm something of an alchemist myself, and I thought perhaps I could assist you in your lab while asking you a few things, and we can share some notes and both come out ahead.
He thinks for a moment and says, uh, that's agreeable. And he sets you to, preparing reagents and things for him. He makes you into his sous chef, as it were. Um, yeah. Here, cut out all of these Newt's eyes. Um, you know what?
Lucas will get to work on it.
Cut out all these photos of people I hate.
Oh, jeez,
Um,
I
We're gonna
can't
boil them down into a potion of hate.
I can't distract things with a full tangent, but I just recently learned that Eye of Newt was actually referring to a specific flower, and other things that we associate with alchemy also are that way. I have to find the link about it later on.
that makes a lot of sense. Um, that makes a lot of sense. But yes, he sets Lucas to work with some grunt work. Um, while they
Cleaning bottles.
yes, while they talk. Um, this is so. What questions did you have for me? Something
Have you
you saw in
traveled,
Mechanus, I guess.
among other things? We were actually attacked by clockwork beetles that seemed intent to steal objects from around the caravan. I was curious. They seemed out of place.
Ah, cockroaches. Um, Indeed, they are an interesting creature. Um, They're native. They are indeed native to the plane of Mechanus. Um, they're something of scavengers, a sort of a cleaning crew for the plane. Um, they seek out objects which are not axiomatically perfect, and take them back to their nest in order to use them to break them down into their base components and construct more cockroaches.
I see.
They remove things that were once perfect and are now broken, and also things from other planes that get in.
I suppose that makes sense. Have you been to many of the other planes?
I've been to a few of them. I try to avoid the lower ones. But I have I've searched for reagents in Elysium and Bitopia. I've seen Mount Olympus and Mount Celestia, though I haven't gone beyond their lowest plateaus.
Do you suppose there may as yet be undiscovered planes? As a cartographer, the thought fascinates me.
There are theories that there are an infinite number of planes. That the worlds may repeat with other prime materials.
I meant more other non-prime material planes. For example, other divine planes. What if there were gods that had never been worshipped or discovered by our people? Would they have their own planes, as our god has Mechanus?
That is certainly possible. The Great Wheel could be thought of. We can imagine the cosmology of the Great Wheel, but it is entirely possible that there are slices that the wheel is not complete with the planes that we know of. That there may be places between the planes that we know of that we have simply never reached. The spell I use to visit other planes, Plane Shift, requires a certain focus keyed to the specific plane I wish to visit. If a focus to, say, a plane between Arcadia and Celestia existed, and no one knew the focus to get there, and no one had found it on the infinite staircase and decided to return to tell about it, or even realize that they'd gone someplace new, then that's entirely possible. There could be an infinite number of divisions.
You spoke of
Perhaps.
an infinite staircase. Does it truly connect to every plane?
It connects to every known plane, and every known major plane. It does not connect to necessarily to demi-planes or magically created folds in space-time.
Has anyone ever attempted to map a section of this stairway?
It's illegal.
I'm sure some have. I do not believe I have encountered what I would call a map. I know that there there are individuals who have walked it who can tell you that, oh, if you go to this one tavern and you do this one ritual before you enter the outhouse, you'll find yourself on the infinite staircase, and you can go up, so many miles from there and get to this other place.
That should be something worth investigating. I have something of a puzzle on my hands.
Oh?
Yes, Lucas will say awkwardly while stopping to examine a large flask, stalling for time before he explained finally. It's somewhat complicated, but I may have resurrected a god who never existed before his resurrection, and it may have created a new plane, and I'm somewhat curious as to the ramifications of this incident.
He seems the archmage seems very interested in this. Resurrected a god that never existed. He thinks
he's the one who
for a moment. Is this in reference to the corpse?
Yes, I'm afraid so. After he was awakened, he did destroy the corpse pile, which I'm taking as a good sign. But it troubles me not knowing, truth be told.
Well, he hasn't laid waste to the prime material, so that is also a good sign.
Yes, I was not given the impression that that would be the likely outcome of his awakening.
But a new god could tip certain balances. If it takes a side in the blood war, we could see a shift in the balance of law and chaos.
Yes.
A shift towards chaos, a shift in chaos's favor would be potentially disastrous.
I did not get the impression that it was a chaotic deity. If anything, all that I could locate spoke of inevitability.
Well, that doesn't. Inevitability is not a concept I would associate with chaos, for certain. Though, yeah, he looks at Lucas and feels like you get the impression that he thinks that what he's about to say is maybe not going to be the most popular thing to say within the Empire. But a shift towards cosmic law winning out is not necessarily the best for those of us mortals either.
How do you imagine not? Lucas said, still working, as if he genuinely never considered this possibility.
And turning on his microphone.
Yeah, no, there's an inquisition in the Empire, isn't it? Like, Gerhard has to be careful about this sort of conversation, I feel.
Well, I would remind you that while the angels are aligned with law, so too are devils.
Yes.
There are good and evil elements of the law, and
Well, if it is any consolation, my archaeological research suggested that there was a cult to an evil god that had the capacity to resurrect this god at any time who chose not to.
Well, that is. I will take that as good then. I will investigate this new god. A new god is
A curious thing.
a curious thing indeed. I do not know what this will mean, and that concerns me. I will look into it with my with all I can muster.
Good. Here, let me prepare something for you quickly. And Lucas will get out some paper and his compass and pencils and construct the holy symbol that he saw on the coin onto a piece of paper for the Archmage. This seems to be the new god's symbol.
This will be useful. I will begin divinations, and I will
Good.
send you a letter by the end of winter.
That's good. I will be preparing a new expedition. I know that my companions require me in a variety of places, but I hope to return to the Fever Swamp to uncover more about this ancient civilization that whose ruins contained what would become this god.
I will try and I will have I will find you, and I will contact you.
Thank you. I'm sure you can arrange a sending.
Yes.
I will see to finding the appropriate spell myself at some point to copy.
I sent along a scroll of sending to Amelia with Amelia before. I assume that you have cast that scroll then.
Amelia did give me a scroll of sending, but she gave me explicit instructions when to use it, and I was not able to copy it before that time.
I see. Sending is such a useful spell. You've given me some very good information. I think I can part with one.
Thank you.
And he provides. He goes and he opens up a scroll box, and he provides you with a scroll of sending, and he says, "I suggest you try and copy this to your book. It's a very useful spell."
Yes, I will do so at my earliest opportunity. Thank you.
So, did you have anything else that you needed to talk to the mage about?
No, that covers Lucas getting his dirty arc into everyone's future roleplay.
Okay.
We
So, probably a couple hours after Lucas goes in, he comes out. His hands are all pruny from washing every flask, beaker, and probably some old dishes in the tower, and he rejoins everyone else. Did anyone else have anything that they needed to do in this small village by the tower before setting out? I don't imagine, but should ask.
No, I don't.
What would we want to talk to a wizard about? Let's get out of here, guys.
I mean, if you have something you want to talk to the wizard about.
Nah.
Hey, wizard, where in the Empire do you think it would cause the most damage if, say, a swamp were to magically form?
But also, where would it be easiest to do the swamp?
Yes, where would it be both easy and damaging? Where should I put this? Hypothetically.
Also, yeah, where would you be least likely to look, even though you're the person who may have suggested it as a likely spot for placing a magical swamps? This is a very complex question, Philster.
That's before we even get into the questions like, what is the nature of this swamp? Because, like, if the swamp produces water on a daily basis to remain a full swamp, then putting it upriver from Turfeld would flood every major city in Nilfenburg. But if not, then that would be just a really nice place to put it.
Man, you're right, Lucas. That's a good point. You're right. I should swampify that desert right there. He dismisses the illusion of Lucas. No, I'm done here.
You're very much into creating like the macula of Reshmach's characters tonight.
Yes.
It's the meta narrative for all of my characters. He needs a character in Sullen Stars so that can talk to a dream version.
You'll just have to settle for talking to dream versions of Divno's character in that one.
Yeah, I mean, he would be free to play if you guys were not literally at capacity for your ship and no other creatures could fit on it.
We can't afford a bigger
He'll
ship
just
yet.
have to-
We need more money.
He'll just have to talk to Archive too. I mean,
Can
Lucas.
Archive get my space captain more money so I can build an armada?
I mean,
made him up
yes,
base.
but Archive is basically a god, so I think Salah's just mad that I'm putting his cow in charge of livestock reform.
Yes.
She's just gonna make pigs that you plant in the ground. She's gonna squat in a farmer's field, and it's gonna plop out from between her legs. She's gonna say "You can harvest it for meat," and then she'll walk up.
Well, she'll have to sit through the meeting first.
Oh, okay.
All right. So back to this. Where do you go?
Lucas wants to go to Nilfenburg to collect what is sure to be our epic reward / parade. And because running away
Please.
now would seem really suspicious.
Oh,
But you're a
Silas,
bad guy. You've done bad things.
I think I need to break off before we reach Nilfenburg, both to go to the library and to avoid the parade.
Yeah. I had to ask, how many seconds after we reach Nilfenburg does the winter begin?
Is it like Torchbearer, where we just hit that turn and it arrives all at once and kills us if we leave?
I mean, it's going to be somewhat gradual. It's the third. Today is the 3rd of December. The 21st is the first day of winter. I'm not going to have it go from 0 winter to 5 feet of snow in an instant. But yeah. So, my thoughts were that you would all travel to Nilfenburg together, and then scatter across the way before the parade, unless you wanted to stay for the parade and then disappear.
Sounds okay to me.
All right. So
Let's get our gold medals.
yes.
They're gonna give us medals, Silas.
Except for the Wookiee. So yes, it is going to be 7 days to Nilfenburg. So you're going to need to pay for 7 days of lifestyle. Everyone should go ahead and do that. Um, However, on the fourth day of travel, um, as you're heading through some hills, um, uh, in you as you're heading through some hills on the third day of travel, um, you hear the sound of some shouting up ahead, and then the unmistakable sound of magical attacks, some screaming, and roars from some sort of loud creature. There's clearly a battle of some sort of skirmish up ahead.
Yeah, we should go help him.
Yeah, Lucas lifts his chin and tries to sit as tall as he can in his front seat, trying to see what's going on as he drives towards it.
All
Do we
right.
have someone up in the tower who can see anymore?
Are we just rotating on tower duty
I assume so.
randomly?
Yeah, but I've already moved you over to the combat map.
Whoever wants to be in the tower.
Yeah. So
See, for some reason, like, I'd always imagined that it was too small for an adult human for whatever, like, comedic reason, and so it would always be Ixa or Phil Sticker. But, I could
I was
be
picturing
wrong
it that
about
way,
that.
too.
well,
for some
Kildrak's
reason.
been in it before, so
It's a dwarf, right?
Yeah.
they're medium size.
Yeah, he's like the
Sure.
size of a small car,
Let's see, Bort's not here, so no Bort.
just like a car is short.
Did Gerhard keep Bort for experiments?
Just temporarily.
Yeah, just temporarily. So
Bort's got
as-
the full body flu.
as you all come to the top of the crest of a hill, there's a this hill has been split in half, and there's a river that runs between it, and a imperial bridge spanning the distance. On the far side of the bridge, you see the site of the battle. There's an ogre with a fortification, like a wooden structure strapped to its back, in which four goblins in various dark robes and wearing masks are situated. They're casting spells from the back of this ogre at the last two standing knights. There was apparently a small party of them, and they've killed one ogre already. They look haggard and they are diminished. To put it, yeah, simply. And the battle is ongoing.
Goblin.
Battle is ongoing. So yeah.
Well,
So as a goblin, is this a thing we do? Wear dark robes?
Not normally, no.
Okay then.
well, I
Trying to find Ixa on the map. Hang on.
far right. So,
Yeah.
just quick FYI, I was planning on dropping a hypnotic pattern on that swarm of enemies.
Okay.
Will it bother you if I fireball them first?
Since you go first, no, I don't think it will. That doesn't have lingering damage, does it?
No.
Cool. Then yeah, have fun. I may not even need to pattern them after that. We'll see.
Alright. So ogre gets an 11. Also +2. Oops, that's +2. Warlock gets an 11. Apprentices.
Warlock, that's immoral.
And knights. Yeah, also will plus 0. $13 and $10. All right. So as you come up the hill, the goblins like you know, point you out to each other, and as you've joined the battle, and the warlock curses, they have reinforcements. And Lucas, it's your turn.
All right, Lucas will move up and fireball that in the back.
Okay. So that's dexterity saves, yes?
Yep.
I'll start with the ogre. It gets a -1 to its dexterity save. Does a 16 save for half?
Yes.
Alright. So the ogre takes 14 damage. The warlock gets advantage on dexterity saves due to the cover provided by the fortification. So does a 15 save? Yes.
Yes.
So the warlock, zoom in quickly. Warlock takes 14 damage. Now the apprentices would save for half, but that's still enough to kill them. Do they have any sort of Nope. They do not. So the apprentices so the fireball goes off and rocks the ogre and those riding it, and in the movie explosion, the goblin apprentices go flying out, crashing to the ground, and their corpses burning. The goblin warlock curses and swears as the mess this mess comes to pass, and you're too far away, so he doesn't do that thing that I was going to have him do. You're out of range. Okay. So Kildrak.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
First thing I'm doing is moving directly in front of Lucas, unless that's a problem for him.
It is not.
Okay. That puts me... Yeah, okay. So,
Does
I think...
Hypnotic Pattern have that kind of range?
Oh, yeah, it's 120.
Oh, okay.
And it's a 30-foot cube on top of that.
All right.
So, yeah. So I'm still going to drop Hypnotic Pattern just because that Warlock seems to be a bit of a tank.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can just focus on one of the two.
All
In
right.
theory, maybe, hopefully.
All right. All right. So hypnotic pattern. I assume that that's going to be a saving throw.
It is
Wisdom.
wisdom.
Okay. So I'll roll for the ogre first. The ogre has a -2 wisdom.
Cool.
Surprisingly, the ogre does not save.
Shocking.
The warlock, though, has a +4.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah, that saves.
All right. So the warlock. So describe the hypnotic pattern for us again, real quick.
I assume that it would be different this time. Last time it was like the classic hypnosis swirl that turned into boats because it was the striders. In this case, I'm not sure what they would see, what the ogre would see. Maybe just like meat, lots of meat.
All right. Yeah. So the ogre like rests on his club, and as you just like start staring off into space, completely ignoring the two knights in front of it that it was about to kill.
And Kildrak then shouts at the rest to aim at the warlock instead of the ogre.
All right. It's knight number 1's turn, and he hears this warning from the sudden magical saviors, and he backs off about 30 feet and switches from his sword to a heavy crossbow, which he fires at the warlock. But it strikes the warlock's cover. All right. The let's see. It's the warlock's turn. Your guys are sitting at 110, 115. So what's that's good. That. Range on. Okay, could do that. Yeah. Okay, so the goblin warlock goes and he just points a finger over the edge of this fortification at knight number 2. He just says, "Death."
Eldritch Blast.
And he needs to make a Constitution save. And he does save, so he only takes half of this damage. It's still enough to kill him.
What? Jesus.
And knight number 2 immediately just drops dead as if from a heart attack.
Oh man, I gotta learn that. I mean, oh my god.
It's the ogre's turn, but it's still dazed. It's knight number 2's turn, but he is dead. Ixa.
Okay, so we're focusing on the warlock and not the ogres, right?
Ideally, yeah.
Yes,
If
don't
you
hit the
hurt-
ogre, it'll wake up. And
Yeah,
in fact,
it's charmed.
The warlock could also say his action to like whack the ogre to wake it up, but he apparently has much better actions to take. So
Yeah.
Clearly. Okay, can Ixa get a clear shot at him with her bow?
The ogre Hodao is giving them 3/4 cover, which means that the warlock, as long as the ogre is still alive and it's still riding in its thing, has +5 AC.
And a miss presumably could hit the ogre and wake it up.
A miss. If you roll the natural 1, I would say that's what happens. But normally, no.
Okay. Let's see. Then she will move up as far as she can and take a shot at the warlock with her bow.
Okay.
And hope for the best. 1 second. Even if it's too bright for her, I think that still hits. Well, actually, with the extra AC, maybe not.
No, that your arrow strikes the cover of the fortification.
Yeah, +5 AC is a lot, especially
Yeah.
in 5th edition.
Yeah.
Honestly, once we get closer, we may want to just take down the ogre regardless.
That was my plan, at least.
But at least this way we can get closer without it, like, rampaging.
well, technically speaking, grease doesn't wake the ogre up.
Oh, okay. I could see that helping, yeah.
So if we get within 60 feet and don't immediately die, which, I mean,
Decent odds of, yeah.
but that aside, we should be able to knock the warlock out of the fortification by greasing and making the ogre fall down, which won't wake him up.
So Silas, it's your turn. Your spear screams for blood.
Yes, it does. And in this case, I was actually,
Yes, I do.
I already moved him. He charges up across the bridge, taking dash action. Gives me 80 feet in all, which is pretty nice. You can really book it.
Cleverly stab through the ogre's skull and kill the warlock. Kill Filsker too.
Philsticker, it's your turn.
He doesn't deserve it. Do it anyway. Alright.
And Splectre was also here.
Oh, hi, Splectre.
Hey boss, should I go get my token from the other so that I can be separate from you, or do you want to just keep me riding around on your shoulder for now?
Oh, just stay in my pocket.
All right.
I don't want you to get blown up by that other goblin warlock.
He's totally stealing your shtick, man.
Yeah, I gotta go shoot an Eldritch Blast at him.
Yeah. Go do it.
I charge over here to be with my friend.
Okay. And
I
you
can't
cast
tell
Eldritch
how many
Blast.
feet that is. Is that 120 feet?
That's 115.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I shoot some Eldritch Blasts. Please die!
All right.
Nice.
Well, your first one's a crit, so that hits.
Oh boy.
11 damage.
It's something, I swear. Blood.
We're back to Lucas.
All right. Lucas will move on up. Is he within the range he needs to be is the question. Not quite, because 60 feet is the range on Grease. So he's stuck with another spell for this round.
All right.
It's definitely not time for another fireball. So we're probably looking at a regular attack. Lucas is a bit more of a utility caster than that. Well, he did also really annoy the warlock. The dodge action might be smart, but now he doesn't know the warlock's going to come after him, and that would be pretty selfish. He'll just shoot a firebolt at the warlock.
Okay.
Shoots it at the howdah.
22 hits.
All right, 14 damage.
Ah, you bastards! You're ruining everything!
That's the idea.
No idea.
Kildrak.
I'm gonna scoot up. Here, I guess. I think that's as far as I can go. Which puts me how far? That's frustrating. I believe that's too far away for almost any of my. Let's see, because that's effectively 70. Yeah, that's too far. That one was 30. It's useless. Yeah, the rest are 30 and 60. So, I guess I'll just. Which one of these is the right range? 120. So I'll throw a javelin at the warlock.
Okay.
No, I won't.
Nope. That would have hit him if not for his cover. You strike the you struck his cover again.
Sure.
The knight number 1 shoots another crossbow bolt at the warlock, which deflected by his mage armor. The warlock curses and swears and wishes that his ride was was awake. But on his turn, the knight who had died automatically rises as a zombie. It begins coming to life, and the warlock comes over to your side of the Hodao, and he's going to shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts at Lucas and 2 Eldritch Blasts at Kildrak. Seven to hit. So Lucas, Kildrak.
All right, well, Lucas will raise a shield to block the first of those, but not you can't get the second one with it.
Okay. That is. Alright, so Lucas takes 2 damage, and Kildrak takes. Did both of those hit Kildrak?
Oh yeah.
14 for Kildrak then.
Alrighty. That stings a little.
Yeah. He comes over and he fires. He raises his hands, and from each one, from each hand, 2 bolts of hellish energy, reddish pinkish sort of hue, come out and strike at Kildrak and Lucas. Lucas blocks one with a conjured shield, but yeah. The ogre is still dazed. The zombie knight comes charging forward, still in its plate armor, wielding a great sword. It's charging towards Silas. Ixa.
Okay. I think Ixa's going to assume that Silas can handle the zombie, so she will continue to move up and take another shot at the warlock.
Okay. Nope.
And no.
Silas.
Does Ixa have an extra attack too now? Or just one?
Oh, she does have an extra attack.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Although,
actually.
can you still only attack once with a crossbow? I can't remember.
It's a short bow.
Oh, never mind
So
then.
yeah,
Cool.
she can totally try it. Make her second attack. And that's a
Oh.
crit. Okay.
Good thing I remembered.
I'm glad you said that.
Okay. That harms the warlock. Arrow sticks into him. He's starting to his expression turns from one of anger to one of fear as he realizes this is going very, very badly.
Then he's going to try the death
wooden
spell on her
sticks
next turn.
pierce.
Silas, it's your turn next. Next.
All right, I'm just seeing how to move here.
All right.
That's within range of both of them, just to make sure.
Hmm?
Is that within 10 feet of the ogre? I don't know which all hexes it occupies.
Yeah. It occupies yeah. That's good.
All right,
Yeah.
good. Then yes, Silas charges up, running around the zombie to try to keep out of its range, and he stabs that one first with the spear. Let's see.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume that hits a zombie.
It does not because it's a zombie knight wearing plate armor.
Oh. Alright, then the second one has to go to that as well.
And a roll of a1 does not does not hit. All right, Phil Sticker, it's your turn.
Okay. Oh no, there's a zombie. I'm gonna shoot that zombie with Eldritch Blasts.
Okay.
How many Eldritch Blasts kill the zombie?
Well, the 20 hits.
Oof.
The Eldritch Blast hits the zombie, passing through his armor, and erupting the zombie's guts into swamp flora.
He won't be able to move when he's full of mushrooms.
Hmm.
His zombie organs won't work.
Assuming you didn't need to move at all, Phil Sticker, it's Lucas's turn.
All right, Lucas will cast Grease.
Okay. What surface are you attempting to cast the grease upon?
I will draw you the grease.
Okay.
There.
Okay. So you're trying to grease the inside of the of.
No, I want the ogre to fall over, which won't wake him up, but it's going to be very difficult to use a perpendicular fortification.
Okay. Then that works then. Okay. I guess he gets a dex save.
He does. It might take him more than one round to fall over, but he'll keep ending his turn in that area.
Right. Let's see.
And hopefully not falling over on Silas.
Fortunately, I don't think that's actually a mechanic. Not that it matters.
The ogre slips and falls to his knees, but that's not quite shocking enough to wake him from his stupor. And the warlock tumbles out of his protective cover, and is now behind the ogre.
Lucky warlock.
I assumed it fell forward.
Fair enough. It was either going to be a guess or
Well,
something for the warlock.
All right,
Will he take
that's
fall
fine.
damage?
I'll roll a d6 to see which direction he falls. Okay, he actually falls upwards, and that's better for you.
Does he take any fall damage?
No.
Like maybe 1d6 for 10 feet. Oh, okay.
All right. So Kildrak, it's your turn.
Okay. Let's see where I can move. I guess I'll move there. And how far does that put me? We have not woken the ogre yet, but
That
it
is
is on the
correct.
ground.
That is correct.
And the warlock fell off, I guess? Or...
Yes, because the ogre fell over.
Okay.
It was a really cool unit formation they had. I bet that was really great against knights.
Probably was.
Yeah, it's a lot less useful against firewall.
Oh yeah, most things are, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
he no longer has cover, so he's just as a 15 AC.
Right.
If you're gonna shoot him.
That's 15. I don't think I want. Yeah, I don't want to wake the ogre just yet, so I'm not going to cast that spell. So instead, well, that's a wisdom save. He has high wisdom. And his beams, those are not actual attack rolls, or are they?
The Eldritch Blast, those are attack rolls.
Those are okay.
That's what he
Okay. I will attempt to mock him.
Okay.
Well, wait. 60 feet, that's close enough to do a short bow. Or a javelin. Actually, the odds of that are too low. I'm going to throw a javelin.
Okay. Okay. That hits because he no longer has cover.
Not for much, but
yeah. The as your javelin strikes him in his leg, and he's sitting there, and he's bleeding at this point pretty badly from all of the glancing blows you've given to him, and he just points his finger at you, and he says, "Asmodeus, take your worthless soul!" And the ground underneath Kildrak glows like metal on the forge, and a column of hellfire erupts from the earth underneath you.
not a fan of this.
You're going to take 6d10 fire damage, you can make a dex save for half.
I am gonna do that.
The DC is 15, so you make it.
Woo!
So you take half of that.
Round it up. Or down.
I think rounds down.
Cool. So that's 13, so it's 24. That actually hurt less than the swamp beams.
He's very disappointed.
Try harder, you shit. Probably shouldn't be mocking the powerful warlock, but
Yeah.
he is a bard, so literally has a spell that's mocking things.
Mm-hmm.
You should have advertised the soul better to Asmodeus.
Yes. Asmodeus, please come and take this very high quality soul that you will very much like. Alright. So
The soul has a parade in Nilfenburg.
yes. Alright, so anything else from Kildrak, or is that the end of your turn?
Thought, yeah, that's
Okay.
that's
That's
all I got.
night number 1. He runs over to the prone, still dazed ogre, and he switches back to his melee weapon. He doesn't kill it as he recognizes that you're doing some sort of magic to it. But he like raises his weapon, ready to strike it the moment like you give the signal. It's okay to do so. The Goblin Warlock. I need to check a thing. What is the... yeah. The Warlock, he looks at all of you, and he sees that he is, he can tell that he is defeated, and he says, This isn't the end! You've not seen the last of me! And he pulls a rod of metal from his cloak, and disappears in a puff of sulfur and brimstone.
Damn it, I wanted to kill him.
It's not all
See you
about
next time.
killing.
Guess we'll have to make do with just killing his minion.
The ogre is dazed.
You could kill the knight.
And the zombie knight the zombie knight was attacked by Silas, so okay. It turns to fight Silas. This is an 18 hit Silas.
I think convalescence is still away.
Oh. I will check their character sheet then. Armor class 16, so yes. Silas takes 13 damage. I will edit the damage. Okay. Ix is your turn.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh no, did Silas get stabbed while I went to get food?
Yes, the zombie came up to you and it stabbed you. I subtracted the damage for you already.
Silas is gone.
No, but that was kind of a bad hit.
Mm-hmm.
Ixa will now try to kill that zombie with her bow.
Okay. You need an 18 to hit.
And she did not.
Very unfortunate. Extra attack?
Should I keep forgetting about? And is no better.
Oh well. Silas. Make a wisdom save.
Alright.
Okay. You feel a desire to kill the zombie knight, but you may act as you wish.
Yes, yeah. He feels the spear trying to control him or the pike, and
Mm-hmm.
he decides to do the same.
Don't not
Wants
kill him!
anyway. Yeah, but just of his own free will.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Alright.
This is good. This means you already wanted it. It means that I have secured some kind of influence or that we're inherently compatible.
So that is sufficient to kill the zombie knight. You may describe what that looks like.
Yes, I think he takes a step back and searches quickly for some, like, gap or dent in the armor where the goblins had already hit him.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, given a weak spot, and, thrusts the pike through it.
Yeah, and then you pull the pike out. You pull the pike out, and some swamp mushrooms fall out. Or Philsticker hit him earlier. Philsticker, it's your turn. Well, unless Silas wants to move. Silas has a move action still.
No, actually, he's pretty much where I intended. That's fine.
Okay. Philsticker, it's your turn.
Alright, Filster walks over here.
Okay.
Now, has somebody attacked the ogre again, or is he still having a fantasy of meat?
He's dazed and on his knees, and like reaching out towards the invisible meat.
Which unfortunately gives ranged attacks against him disadvantage.
Yes.
I feel like
You,
I don't want
I
to shoot
mean-
an Eldritch Blast because then he'll just eat the knight, so I'll just keep walking up gently.
okay.
I mean, double move!
Right.
There, I'm there.
Okay. Lucas's turn.
Lucas will ready in action to firebolt the ogre if it stands up. After moving into cover over here, where he's not likely to have to shoot through a PC to do so.
Okay. Kildrak.
I'm gonna move I think here. Yeah. I'm gonna move there. And I guess we're gonna do readied actions on this one. So I'm gonna ready a vicious mockery
Okay.
on the ogre for I guess whenever someone hits him. Or he gets up.
Okay. I guess the knight, seeing that you're all moving into position around the ogre, is going to do the thing. 'Cause,
Godspeed.
he attacks it with advantage. His first
Wow.
one is a crit, so that is 46 plus 3 damage. Dang.
Wow.
And he has multi-attack, so he attacks again. Still with advantage. That's also a hit. For another 11 damage.
And
Wow.
I guess my mockery triggers too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's mocked.
So that is another 3.
Disadvantage.
Yes, and he has disadvantage for being mocked. And it's
Hopefully it saves
the
life.
ogre's turn. The ogre stands up, triggering Lucas's weight, which hits.
In the strictly technical sense.
Yes. For another 6 damage. So very close. But it does get to mace the knight one time. Being as the knight is directly in front of him. So he tries to crush him. Not so effectively.
Dex save.
Why do I feel such pain, tiny man?
He is still in the grease.
Oh, right.
He could have left it, but he'd have either had to spend his turn disengaging or provoked from the knight. 14 will not do.
Alright. He goes back down. Zombie Knight is dead. His turn. Ixa.
Alright, Ixa will now continue to run forward and shoot a bow as if she knows what she's doing,
Okay.
and try to finish the ogre off.
Okay. You
And
do it.
She might.
I'm pretty sure minimum damage will do it at this point. Yep. So Ixa runs off, looses an arrow. It strikes the ogre in the back of its head, and it falls over, slain.
She just kind of does a double take for a moment.
Oh wait. Actually, that wasn't a crit.
Yeah, you have disadvantage from
You
this
had
on.
disadvantage because it was prone. So there was a regular hit, so just the 4 damage, but the 4 damage was still enough to kill it. It only had 4 hit points left. It didn't.
So you still shot it in the back of the head.
Yes, you're still shot in the back of the head, and it still is dead. And the knight just looks at you, and he looks around at the carnage that was this battle, and he looks to you all, and he just says, "Who are you guys?"
We're the Nilfenburg Cartographical Association. Or rather, a team from. Lucas Deacon. He'll introduce himself, tipping his hat.
What? And then the commercial break happens. Let's take 5 minutes, and then we'll come back.
The higher level we get, the funnier that's going to be.
Oh,
Yes.
I can't wait until we kill a god and get to say that.
Uh,
I feel like the Cartographical Society is getting too much credit at this. They
I'm
don't
pretty
even
sure
know who we are.
Lucas has definitely secured himself the rank of patron saint of cartography at this stage.
yes. But all right.
We're gonna get
We're gonna
back and
take
we're gonna
our
find out
five.
there's nobody else.
We're gonna take our like 5-10 minute break now. So we are back from our break, and the night moving past the ogre's corpse stands amongst you, and and he well we'll pick off right where we were before our break. Who are you guys?
A party from the Nilfenburg Cartographical Society. I'm Lucas Dietrichstein. What's going on here?
Cartographers. He looks momentarily confused, and then looks over at your barbarian and your dwarves and your goblin and your kobold, and then looks to Lucas. He says that 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 goblin, the spellcaster, he was running some sort of devil cult. He'd been trying to take over the town near here. We ambushed them in this pass, but things didn't go according to plan. I owe you all my life.
Well, I rather imagine that we might have been in trouble had they ambushed us rather than inviting you. Let's perhaps look to finishing the job. However, as the goblin seems to have escaped, do you know where he might have gone?
Back to hell, I assume. I hope.
Where would the worst place he could possibly have gone for us be? Do you imagine?
He thinks and says, somewhere where he can get more allies? I don't know. As far as I know, his cult should, he only had the two ogres, and you killed his apprentices. He looks around at the charred young goblins.
Lucas looks a little bit
Oh,
embarrassed
God, what
about
have we
that.
Yeah. Filstiger, you would estimate that these that the apprentices were goblins who have just recently left the pit after probably after failing last year's attempt to be taken in by the old masters.
It's so easy to fall to a deceptive magical monstrosity like this. I'll have to make something better for them. I'll have to grow a swamp near the pit. He's very thoughtful about this.
Hmm.
Yes. I'll save them. I'll save them all.
Right. So more immediately, they don't have a cult base in town or some kind of a fortification.
Well, they have a hideout somewhere, somewhere in these hills, but we haven't found it. I assume it's back the way you came because they crossed this bridge before we ambushed them. We don't know where they were coming from. We just knew they were be coming this way. As far as I know, this was all of his followers.
This is going to seem like an odd question at first, but have the Modrons come through yet?
Modrons. I've
Yes.
never encountered a Modron before. Well,
Well, you will
unless you count
soon.
Maruk back in the at the Lost Stone. I've made my pilgrimage.
They're coming.
You should encounter a group soon who are here to perform a census. If you let them know that there's an unknown group of wizards or warlocks breaking the law and operating from out of the town, and ask them to measure the location of this facility and the particulars of those inside, they may attempt to do so. Otherwise, they may already have pertinent data. It will be worth asking, but
I see. That's good to know. I will remember this. I'll let my lord know as well.
we should get to the inn, but I will discuss with these adventurers whether they feel like searching the hills before we carry on. We are expected in Nilfenburg soon, I'm afraid.
Yes. I no. Instead of the inn, you must come with me to my lord's manor house. There was a bounty posted for the for this cult. The leader may have escaped, but you've smashed them. And I owe you my life, and I think that there will be a reward for you.
Oh, well, thank you. We would love to meet your lord and share his hospitality at the very least. He'll nod to everyone like they wouldn't possibly be turning down free food and wine, and then turn back to the night and say, "Please hold on. I'll conjure a carriage on the far side of all of this," he'll say, tiptoeing between broken bits of giant. How far is it?
No, less than a day.
Good. You'll be able to relax and recover on the trip.
He comes over and says, "My apologies. I've been so rude. I have not introduced myself. I am Sir Bernhard."
Of course. It's been an honor to meet you, Bernhard.
And he watches as you conjure the wagon. He's most impressed, and he will ride with you to the giving directions as needed. Yes. So that evening, you enter the manor house of Lord Elmar Mayer. It is it's a minor estate near Nilfenburg. And he welcomes you into the into his house, and he explains to you that he has been authorized by the Empire to give for this particular hell cult. He's been authorized to give a reward for its destruction and the confirmed death of the cult leader. As the Sir Bernhard explains the situation, he furrows his brow and is conflicted about what to do. On one hand, the cult seems to be taken apart, but also the leader escaped. They produce a treasure chest filled with gold and platinum and silver coins. And he dumps out half of it. And says that this is yours.
Thank you.
The treasure chest is then returned to wherever he stores his valuables.
The other half is for winners.
Yeah.
Lucas is awkwardly not offering the party services, but he's half hoping, more than half hoping. He's like 3/4 hoping another PC, one of the more adventuring ones, leaps forward to do that, because he doesn't really want to volunteer for non-map making duties as the cartography person, but mercenaries, and he could be dragged along to this.
Mm-hmm.
Kildrak is gonna kind of look around, look at the money that was just given to us.
So for record keeping
Watch
purposes,
the chests that leaves.
you got 1,750 gold pieces worth of. It's in assorted coins, but that's the value.
And he's gonna.
1750, you say?
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that, Retro?
1750, you say?
1750. 1,750.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Cool. And while dreaming in his dwarven little eyes about his possible uses for the money, he's gonna kind of look around at the others and be like, what do y'all think about trying to help out with the rest of this?
He
Because,
must be stopped because
A thorough survey of the hills would be an act of cartography. Lucas agrees.
I could see us maybe helping out with solving this little bit of a problem you've got.
the rest of the way, the other half of the problem, one might say.
The Lord seems pleasantly surprised that you're offering this, and he says, "Well, if you can prove that you've slain the cult leader, the other half of that chest is yours. If you were going to do that, unfortunately, I seem to be low on knights at the moment, but Sir Bernhard, we can accompany you."
That would certainly help, especially with the matter of proving that we performed the task. He certainly held his own with the ogre and such. I'd be more than happy, I think, unless.
But he's there, and he nods. He's happy to accompany you if you decide to do this.
Would you mind if we took a day here to prepare our expedition and then leave the day after tomorrow?
Of course. You may. I will. He looks at your numbers and says, "I will provide rooms for half of you here. The other half, I will. I will cover your fees for the inn. All on me.
Most
Your
kind
guests."
of you. Thank you.
Kildrak is going to volunteer for
Yeah.
the inn if anyone wants specifically to stay here.
Lucas would prefer to stay here.
Ixa doesn't really care.
All right. So, you're able to spend a day, resting in the village. And anyone can take a long. You could take a long rest.
Yep, definitely doing that. Need to get that health back.
Long. Rest. Days.
Because apparently Kildrak managed to really piss off that warlock in that fight.
I benefit in no way from a long rest. Let's leave immediately.
Hey, boss! If we go and we go and take care of that the warlock ourselves, we could get all that gold. Think of what we could do with all that gold. You could hire you could hire like a whole army to protect the swamp while it grows.
Spectre, I don't like hirelings.
Well, okay, but when you piss off a dryad or some shit, you might wish you had some.
If I piss off a dryad, I'll convince her it's a good idea because they're going to have so many more trees in the swamp.
But her
And then
tree's
she'll be
not a
like,
swamp tree.
Oh my god, you're so right, Phil. Eldritch Blast.
Aw, boss, you say that about everything.
I mean, it does tend to work. Not that Kildrak is part of this conversation, I don't think.
Yes. All right.
It's tempting, Spectre, but you gotta understand. I just had a long rest, and he just had a long rest, which means he got to like heal himself up to full hit point. Well, you saw how scary he was. He'll point at me and tell me to die. I don't know that spell.
That's a pretty scary spell, boss.
Yeah, I'd have to. Wait, you can turn invisible. You'll turn invisible and go in by yourself, and like
Okay.
crawl in his mouth and eat his organs or something.
But he'll have
Turn into an invisible centipede.
But boss, he's got too many hit points.
What the hell's a hit point?
I mean, you know how things work. You shoot him with a bunch of arrows, he just doesn't die. He's too important to the cosmic order.
You gotta shoot him with so many arrows, there's no more space for arrows. Yeah, I know. It's the formation of a gravitational singularity that does him in when you shot him with enough.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So yes, did anyone have anything they wanted to do during the
Okay.
Mhm.
How many hours of work can I do without removing the long rest?
Not many, but like, what is it that you're wanting to do while you were quote long resting?
Possibly transcribe a spell.
How many hours of work does it take to transcribe a spell?
I'm just looking that up, but it's either 1 or 2 hours per spell level. So that sounds like a no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fine.
That seems like a lot of not relaxing.
It's 2 hours per. So maybe.
Oh yeah, it's like, so it'd be like What level sending? Sending a third?
Well, my thought would be that he could probably do 3 hours after dinner, then go to bed, and then not do anything, and then do 3 hours before 3 hours, before we head out in mid-afternoon on this. But no, okay. He'll do it.
I think the
It's not
question
important.
is-
It's not that important. It can wait.
All right.
Does Lucas find it to be a relaxing activity?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Maybe Lucas thinks it's fun.
Fun, maybe, but people enjoy like bobsledding, and it's certainly not relaxing. And I don't think that we could do a day of adventuring and then have the barbarian declare that was a long rest. I totally enjoyed that.
Right. Yes. So, yes. So your rest comes and goes. And so your plan is to perform a survey of the hills in an attempt to locate the
Hideout.
hideout.
I mean, there's only so many places a hideout could be, and we can identify them and check them.
All right, that is reasonable. So you set out, and you start going. You begin exploring the hills, and the woods, having to venture off road as you explore the areas around the town. Roll a D. Lucas, roll a D6. Okay, you got a 6. By the evening, you've spent all day, trudging around the region, and you eventually come to find a in the forests, in the cliffside, a cave. The area outside the cave has indications of footsteps from goblinoids coming and going, and bare spaces which you suspect are probably indications of where some ogres sat, and there is indications that this has been people have been living here.
Lucas will mark it quickly on the sketch map he's been creating as we've been wandering around, and then fold that into a scroll too. But nod to the more adventure people to walk in first and get shot, so that he can support them.
So who is going in first?
Kildrak will go first.
Okay. So Kildrak, as you enter this dark cave, you
Sorry. Actually,
Bread.
yeah, sorry. Maybe make Silas go first. Sorry.
Okay.
That's okay.
So Silas, as you enter this dark cave, it becomes dark, and your human eyes become useless.
Oh no. He goes back out to Lucas.
Tell Kildrak to go.
Yeah, no, he says it's dark in there.
It
And
would be,
holds
yes.
out some sort of item of his.
Lucas will create a light on it.
Good, good.
Mhm.
Maybe it's javelin, because I'm gonna assume the pike is not a good weapon for cave fighting.
Mhm.
And the
Probably
javelin is?
Yes, I am.
It's shorter, at least. I mean, well,
Thrust me down the mouth of the cave.
you can't actually use the javelins to stab people, can you?
You can.
Okay, alright, that's fine then.
As you ready a different weapon, though, you were distracted by the calls of your pike demanding to be used.
The fuck is that? A tiny pike? What is wrong with you?
We don't even know there's anything inside the cave. He says apparently to himself as he goes back to explore it.
You're not safe. You're not safe without me.
Well, I'm going
Your
to
fool
guess
can't be trusted.
that it's possible that the goblin came through here, collected as much as he could carry, and left. But I don't think that's everything. So even if he's not here, something will be. We should have a look.
Yeah, and he goes back to explore the cave.
I think
Not
we're all
with the
going
lights.
with. I think we're all going with. You're just walking.
Just going first. Yeah.
All right. So the you make your way down the down the cave, illuminating your way with the glowing weapon, and you hear something around the corner, speaking in gobbledygook. Philsticker, you
I know that
understand.
language.
Yeah, so Philsticker, you understand Goblin, and you know that it is someone making requesting aid from a some devilish power.
Does it sound like the warlock or a younger goblin or what?
Roll perception.
Sounds just like me.
It you can't tell. Yeah.
It's exactly what you think it is. He informs
will-
the others.
Nod and nod to the others, having never seen this party fail to become violent at the prospect of treasure. He doesn't feel the need to encourage them.
Now, these are misguided, dispossessed youths, my friends. We shouldn't immediately resort to.
So you come around the corner, Silas, and there is a this appears to have been some sort of altar, some sort of shrine. There's a stone slab draped with a red cloth bearing the symbol of Asmodeus. There's little incense burning. Yes, Lucas, you can cast mage armor. There's
Fantastic.
incense burning. There's candles, but they're unlit. There is there's some like some supplies in here. And there is a goblin wearing not wearing robes, but wearing like Philsticker, what do normal goblins in the goblin pits wear? How do they dress?
Oh god. Leather diapers.
So
Knee
there's
pads. Little shoes.
so there,
Crawling around on their knees underneath things.
so there is a young goblin at the altar who is dressed not like the apprentices you encountered before, but instead like a goblin of the pits. And he turns and he looks wide-eyed at the barbarian standing there with your glowing weapon, and he says, "Did he send you?"
The Baron?
Kill him while he's young and defenseless.
It won't make much difference.
No, actually, we were looking for your master. I'm not sure what his title is, but did he come here?
Oh, the Dark One. He. I don't know. I came here searching him out myself. He is. I can't find anyone. It looks like there. He gestures deeper into the cave and says, "There's some living spaces, but look like they've been ransacked."
When did you come back, and what were you doing before that?
Well, I just found this place yesterday.
Yesterday. What were you looking for?
The Dark One.
How did you know he would be here?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't know where he was. I knew he had been sighted in that village, and I went searching for him, and I found this cave.
How did you know he had been sighted in that village?
I heard. They're
From.
from the villagers.
I suppose.
So you were a traveling goblin who arrived in the village yesterday and were informed by the villagers.
No.
that
I arrived
called-
in the village several days ago.
And you were then informed by the villagers peaceably that there was a goblin cult worshipping a dark one operating.
One of the guards thought I might be with the cult, so they questioned me, but I didn't know anything about it at the time.
And so, after having been questioned
Inadvertent.
by the guards about the cult, you sought it out.
Didn't you?
Somewhat differently, perhaps. You seemed to be seeking them out more amicably, perhaps, than we were.
He realizes now what the situation he is in, and says,
Now, Lucas, you don't understand.
"Well, I regret to inform you that they're not here. I don't know where they have gone."
What were you doing in this region?
Wandering.
Why?
It's what we do. So many people leave after the day of deepening. I've been wandering since, I guess it's almost a year now.
And your thought was to come to Nilfenburg and then wait until you heard about a group of people who were going to be killed by the Nilfenburgians and then join them.
That sounds dumb when you put it like that.
Yeah, any plan sounds bad if if you word it.
If you phrase it to sound dumb.
Yes.
Christopher sits down aggressively, with his arms crossed.
Lucas is going to roll insight on the goblin's embarrassment and try to figure out how genuine it is and how much he's feigning being an idiot goblin who came up with this plan and how much he's, pretending not to be an idiot goblin who came up with this plan.
Okay.
21.
21. Okay. Lucas Lucas believes that this goblin is legitimately looking for meaning and purpose, and believed that a cult run by goblins would provide that for him. You don't necessarily believe that he is, at this moment, a damned soul lost to devilish contracts or anything.
Or more
So
specifically, this is not a goblin who was always the cult, pretending to have just arrived in the world's worst bluff.
Yes.
All right. Well, I suppose then that you're lucky that you were a day late. We would have liked to have found the Dark One. I'm afraid that he is unwelcome. Well, I think people would have welcomed his severed head, perhaps offering quite a bit of money for it. You would do best not to become associated with that unless you would like your body to become a valued commodity as well.
I would very much not like that. I think that there has been a mistake. I will take my leave now.
Now let me help you. Felsticker puts his hand on the goblin's shoulder and takes him, or he puts his hook on the goblin's shoulder and takes him aside.
The goblin pays absolutely no mind to your hook arm. That's perfectly normal. But he does look. He is looking at your eye.
Now I have a much better cult for you to join. Much more on the up and up, more reasonable, better for the world. We believe in swamps.
Swamps.
Important to the environment. It filters the air, drains the water, whatever else it does.
Also empirically real.
Now here, I've got some names for you. Go. What's the name of the guy who runs the storehouse?
You literally met the devil who provides this contract.
Huh? Oh yeah, that's right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the guy that ran the storehouse in Clank? Daniel?
Daniel, yes.
All right. There's a guy in a town called Clink. Tell him Philsticker sent you. I want you to stay in Clink until I show back up. And then we got some work to do. All Goblin Run, I swear.
All right, Phil Sticker. I'll do that.
Right, my name's Philsticker.
Yes.
I'm the guy I was talking about.
Yeah. My name's Grench. It's nice to meet you.
Grinch. Alright, he shakes his hand with his hook.
Yeah. So what's with the eye?
Oh, it. Crap, I gotta suddenly make up something the eye does. It sees the truth of a goblin's heart. I know you're a good kid, okay? I can see it in you. Once all the sin's been burned away.
Well, I ain't got any other plans, so I'll meet you in Clink.
I look forward to seeing you there.
And he leaves unless anyone stops him.
Oh wait, I should give him something.
Um,
What I have.
Before you go, would you mind terribly turning out your pockets to demonstrate that you aren't carrying any sort of evil tomes of unholy magic, talking gemstones, lidless eyes, that sort of thing?
He turns out his pockets. He's got a small knife. He's got some small amount of coin. He's got yeah, nothing.
The seed.
No, yeah.
Nothing that's a clue to the cult.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Lugus will make one last suggestion. Then, if you decide that waiting in Clink to join a cult to Grandfather Rot is not what you desire to do, you should consider seeking work for Nilfenburg rather than against it. It may be difficult, but much less lethal.
Philsticker puts up his hand as if he's gonna whisper conspiratorially, but it's over his normal eye, which he rolls in the direction of Grinch.
Yeah, Grinch I just kind of like bows to the Nilfenbergian and says I will take that under consideration. And then he scampers away.
So let's all be cautious. This dark one could actually still be here and just have been ignoring this recruit.
Good idea.
So you stand now in the the altar chamber of this cult room, and Splicter whispers into Philsticker's ear, That's an altar to Asmodeus.
Right, he mentioned Asmodeus.
That's a devil god of law and evil.
Oh, okay, well, Nilfenburg likes him. Turn invisible and fly through the cave. See if you see anything.
Grandfather
please.
Rut will be happy if we destroy this altar.
Oh, we certainly will.
All right. And Splicter's just like serious face, glaring at the the altar.
Don't worry, I'll shit all over.
I like that. So what were you saying, boss?
Turn into an invisible bat and please fly into the further reaches of the cave.
All right.
So no one can see you.
Yeah. So Splicter's
Use your special silent wings.
Splicter transforms into a bat, turns invisible, and flies away. Looks like the kid was telling the truth. The next room looks like some sort of living space. There's like some straw. It looks like they're where they were sleeping. Some blankets and stuff. It does look like it's been searched through pretty thoroughly. I don't know. Looks like somebody was here and then packed up and then left.
If it was searched thoroughly, it sounds like it wasn't whoever actually lived here. Since if it was the person that lived here, they would know where everything important was.
Not necessarily what all the apprentices had.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's true. Well, keep an eye out, please. In case anyone suddenly becomes visible while we do our investigation.
I don't see nothing, at least.
Well, I'll get to work on desecrating this altar. Y'all can check ahead in the cave. Filter says as he climbs on top of it.
Well, what's the altar made out of?
The altar is it's a slab of stone, that's covered in like a it's got like a cloth covering and it's got like, you know, associated items on it.
What are the items made out
of? There's like an incense bowl that seems to be made of valuable metal. It's I guess probably gold, probably some form of electrum. It's currently burning. The kid lit some. There's additional incense set aside for the altar. There is a twisted iron idol of Asmodeus.
Right. Well, Lucas will suggest that while these particular goblins were lawbreakers and a threat to the town, there may be legitimate legal worshippers of Asmodeus who may pay to have these and not be disruptive.
Oh no.
I knew Lucas would try to stop me.
Despite what Phil Sticker believes, Asmodeus as a evil entity is his worship is not permitted within the Empire.
Oh, then forget all of those questions, other than the one about the electrum, which is to say that Lucas suggests we should keep the incense bowl and melt it down. As to the rest, your eldritch blasts would make a suitable end. But perhaps you can wait until after we've searched for any invisible warlock ambushes. You know, he could be right behind you right now, and I would rather not leave you alone for the time being.
Well, alright, that seems reasonable. As the Eldritch blasts the area behind him thoroughly real quick.
Other than the sound of Eldritch blasts echoing through the cave, Nothing.
Alright, let's check it out.
Yeah, let's search for ambushes and loot and clues.
Okay. Um. So, I guess give me an investigation check.
All right, let's see how this goes. I don't have any mapping to do today. Lucas is determined to find any hidden things. 23.
Okay. Um. Mhm. Yes. Lucas finds one set of burn marks in the ground in the sleeping area. Um, After his investigation of that, he comes to the conclusion this spot marks the place where the warlock plane shifted back to um, to this plane. Um, from uh, Judging from the sulfurous smell, he comes to the conclusion that the warlock came here from uh, the ninth level of hell. Um, he then determines that the warlock has gathered anything of value from this place, but he cannot find a location where the warlock shifted away. It's possible he can only do that spell once per day, in which case he might still be on this plane.
Yes, and Lucas will run this by everyone else and suggest and ask. So I know this has never come up before, but can any of you read tracks?
What happened to that Quarandeer guy?
He went off and kill a giant crocodile because you guys wouldn't help him with it.
We lost him in the swamp.
Man, shit.
What would that be under? Sure.
Survival, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got 2.
I think Silas had like 4 in it. Let me look. 5.
Ix also has 5.
Yeah, when we were in the swamps, that's why we did navigation.
Is Lucas able to discern any specific valuable items that might have been here and removed? Like, is there supposed to be a golden wand of Asmodeus somewhere? Or is there an obvious spot where uh, um, uh, a spyglass might have stood, or something like that?
Yes. It's obvious to him that that amongst some of the stuff that was taken, there was something that has like the sort of distinctive dust patterns that would indicate like, hey, there was like a bunch of books here and they're gone now. And It appears that he took nothing from the altar, but it looks like he probably gathered some, you know, some valuables.
Right.
golden whatchamacallits, coins and any money that any member of the cult had.
Well, unfortunately, book is like the one object that he can't possibly use. Unless you'll let me specify non-spell book for locate object. We can't use that to check if he's still here.
I don't think that's specific enough.
No, it isn't. And without,
I think
I
it's
don't
too
think we have more specific.
Yeah. I don't think you can specify non-spell book.
On a guess, I will check Unholy Book of Asmodeus.
Okay.
And I will.
What's
So this entire plan relies on this cult having an evil Bible, and if they don't, it just fails. But
Right.
he will cast locate object that, and first immediately check if the guy is hiding nearby.
Okay. And so that is what, 1,000 feet range?
Yep.
Okay. No.
And
There is no evil book of Asmodeus within 1,000 feet of you.
right. And then I will send Balearica flying in one direction, and I will walk in the other for the 10-minute duration of the spell, and see if either of us pings something from outside the mouth of the cave.
Right. So how far can Balearica fly in 10 minutes?
Probably only. I mean, we're in hilly, rocky country, so she
Yeah.
could cover a good amount of distance. The question really is, how far is the goblin? If he decided to really book it yesterday, there
Mhm.
is no way a bird will catch up to him in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But if he's sort of like, camped somewhere nearish by, or got out late yesterday, or just got waylaid by awful terrain that puts him relatively close as the crow flies, maybe.
Yeah. Roll a d20.
Okay. Eight.
Yeah, no sign of him.
Lucas will sigh, slightly irritated, and say, "Well, unless someone can think of another object to check for, we might be done for this investigation. We might have just slipped our grasp."
Let's see.
So let's destroy all of this. He'll motion to the altar.
All right, back to it. Filster gets up on the altar.
Everyone's looking at Phil Sticker.
Go away.
No.
Please.
Splicter returns and transforms into his usual self and says, "Hey, boss needs privacy to desecrate this altar."
Oh, I've read about that. Yes. All right. We'll wait outside.
Now Splicter's looking at you.
Go away.
What? Splicter goes.
We're not the same person. We're just linked in some manner.
Splicter also goes outside.
But your familiar is always watching, would be. You have sense link.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's fine. Splicter's a real person. He's not like Balearica. He's got his own concern. Well, the desecration takes place, and oh my, is it horrible.
All right.
Splicter stumbles out of the cave, covered in tiny scratches and stone dust. Okay, got it.
So I would like for you to write down somewhere, where you won't lose it, that Phil Sticker has gained. Phil Sticker's concordance is now at plus 15.
Alright.
But all right, Phil Sticker comes out. You hear horrible sounds from inside the altar, but Phil Sticker
Earth itself groans.
Phil Sticker comes out, covered in
Okay,
dust and
it's done.
scratches.
Let's move on.
Yeah, so I'll have to go and inform the local baron that cult leader has escaped.
Did anyone cut him in the fight?
He was bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
I
You
think
feel
I
like-
lit him on fire.
You set him on fire. He got hit with a javelin. Gildrak hit him with a javelin.
Yeah, and I assume that I retrieved it, but I probably also.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, based on that, if we did have some way to track, seems like don't trackers, sniff the blood or something, and
If we had a bloodhound or something, boss.
All right. Well, Lucas
Bet
is
we can
going
buy
to
one
make
in Nilfenburg.
yeah,
Lucas
mechanics
is
to
going
do that.
Lucas is going to make an attempt, if no one else will, to roll survival. But Lucas is not the ideal person for this. I believe Silas is our best bet. But
Yeah.
Silas isn't volunteering, so
Well, no, he can do it if you express the idea that you want to go track down this goblin through the normal way, because you can't do it with magic.
I mean, we should at least give him a bit of a chase.
Alright, fair enough. Then, yep. Let's see.
Yeah, there's a lot of footprints out here, outside the cave, and it's difficult to tell which one are the warlock fleeing and not just anything else, and you can't really get a trail, not with a 9. So okay, heading back to the Baron then to let him know.
Yeah, I'm more or less out of ideas without getting into ridiculous.
All right, so you go back, you spend the night in the town again. The Baron is disappointed that you were unable to capture the warlock, but he takes note of the location of the altar, and thanks you for everything that you were able to accomplish. And yes, the next day you're able to set out again for Nilfenburg. And you arrive in the city 4 days later on December 13th. Arriving in the city is as bustling as ever. And once there, you all are free to go your own ways. You'll find out shortly after you return. Lady Amelia will contact you and inform you that there's going to be a parade and a celebration in the city this this coming Saturday. And that you all will be guests of honor and will be given medals, and that she will be making a speech. Um, um, and Lucas probably is contacted by Gert again once he returns. He wants to know how things with. He invites you over for tea, asking how the wanting to know how the destruction of the artifact went.
Lucas will explain the entire trip at length, making him wait on the destruction of the artifact until we've progressed through battling a demon army, sneaking through a castle, and getting mugged by clockwork beetles.
Yes. And yeah. So I don't. So where is everyone planning on spending the winter? The winters in Nilfenburg are very harsh and not good for traveling. As you would all be aware.
Mhm.
Probably here for Lucas. I mean, he's got all sorts of people to talk to, all sorts of things to do. He's
Mhm.
got maps to file, a new expedition to put together for the spring.
Oh yes. Also for Lucas, once the parade happens, so is that I'll go ahead and fast forward time a little bit. When the parade comes, those of you who are still here are are celebrated. Saint Amelia awards each of you a medal recognizing your contributions to the Empire, and publicly declares you to be heroes of Nilfenburg. In the days that follow, everyone who took part in the celebration starts getting so many invitations to rich people's parties. Lucas gets free tickets to the opera. You get invited to speak at the military academy to talk about your contributions in the battle against the cult. You get just so many contacts. Everyone wants for like the week after. Everyone wants to be your friends.
Fantastic. Lucas has the time of his life.
Yes. And then winter will come. So who isn't spending their winter in Nilfenburg?
Well, how long does it take again to go through a hex? Is it 1 day per hex?
It's a day per hex, yeah.
Alright, then if we start on the 13th, or if we get back on the 13th, then Silas has enough time to at least get back to that library and check it out and make sure it's still fine and no one has set up shop there while he was gone.
All right.
Maybe do some research. I forget how long that takes. There's like a mechanical downtime action for it, I think, if I recall correctly.
There is. I'm going to resolve all the mechanical downtime stuff
Mm-hmm.
between sessions. We'll take care of all those, and we'll take care of all those in private messages, and then we'll come back, and a lot of you will have plot hooks and information about things that are going on in the Empire, and then you'll be able to discuss them and make decisions.
Okay. But if it doesn't take too long to do that, then you could probably do that and then come back before winter has really gotten going. 'Cause if it starts on the 21st, then
Sure,
even like 2 or 3 days afterward, it won't be too bad to travel.
sure.
Filster will go to Clank.
Okay. He's going to spend his winter in Clink.
No, he's probably
In the
gonna
swamp?
No, he's probably gonna spend his winter on that red X to the northeast of the Goblin Pit. But he's got to go to Clank to get his goblin and to try to recruit some scumboggles.
Okay, cool. That's something we can definitely take care of over the downtime. And I'll have to talk to Slag about what Bort's doing. And I assume Kildrak and Lucas obviously are going to stay in the capital.
I mean, I'm assuming that Nilfenburg has some smithies that Kildrak can invade for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. What about Ixa?
How long did you say we had until winter came?
Like, it depends on
9
if
or
he's...
10 days.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the point was that Ixa would prefer to go somewhere, but I'm not sure if she really has enough time. Like, I'm guessing, back in Clink is probably going to be warm, close to the swamp.
Warmer, but still quite cold.
Yeah, so it's not like she can't fly south for the winter.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she could go to one of the coastal cities and get a boat to one of the southern lands that I haven't really detailed yet.
Nobody has any adventures there.
No, there's lots of adventures. There's lots of adventures
Okay.
there. I just don't know what the adventures are yet. And
I haven't really.
she could theoretically
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I haven't really detailed where she was from. I think I had a name for her hometown at one point, but I forgot what it was if I ever did. So it's tempting to have her go back home during this time period. But if she could make it to a dock and get a boat back somewhere else like that during a feasible time period, that seems like something she would probably try to do.
She would be traveling during the beginning of winter, but I'm fine. I'm fine. With it.
Nilfenburg is on a river, and I imagine it's quite a big river for a city this size.
Oh yeah.
They
yeah.
probably got river shipping, so she probably is just taking the boat to Stien and then transferring boats. She wouldn't even have to really be outside at all.
Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah, if she took the river barge, she could get there, and that'd probably get there actually faster than at 1 hex a day, because she'd be going downstream. And,
Okay, then that's probably her plan then.
okay, we'll talk about where it is that she's going then during the we'll talk about that in PMs and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be like the end of this session. Thank you guys for playing. And next time you'll regroup in the spring.
Sounds good.
All right.